My name is Myra Cibrian, and I am the owner and head baker of Selva Central Goods. Yeah, so my family, they are down in Southern California. So it's a heavy Latino community down there. There's a lot of panaderias everywhere, which is Spanish for bakery. Going into a panaderia, it's always so colorful because the conchas come in different colors. Same with the cookies and the pastries. There's such a huge variety. And it is kind of like, a kid walking into a candy store, like you're just wanting to pick out everything. The quesadilla from El Salvador was like my favorite thing to eat as a kid. My mom was Mexican. My mom eventually had to learn the recipe from my Salvadoran aunts, and then I learned it from her. There's parts of being Salvadoran that I feel like I was missing, but at the same time, my father, he was very proud, and he always made sure that we grew up being proud of where we came from. I didn't grow up baking or cooking much at home, and even though I love food, I knew that it was something that I wanted to be part of my life. I went to culinary school straight out of high school, and I did not like it. I feel like I did not have the personality to really thrive in culinary school. I was a lot more quiet, and I was always like in the back, like in the corner, just kind of watching, and I feel like that personality type did not really thrive. I did not see myself reflected in the pastries that were being taught to me in school, and I think that's also probably one of the main reasons why I found it hard to apply myself, is because I feel like deep down I was not interested in it. And that's when like the insecurities came, and a lot of the thoughts of like, oh, should I even really be doing this? So I moved to Seattle, and I couldn't really find panaderias in the city, and if I did, they were mainly Mexican focused and not so much Central American, Salvadoran focused. And I'm like, that's something that's missing here. And I feel like as I was discovering that there is a lack of central representation, I feel like it was also when I was becoming more in touch with my Central American side. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I had to do a lot of research on what is typical pan dulce in Honduras, what is typical pan dulce in Guatemala, and all of these different countries, and especially El Salvador, which is again where my father's from, in order to feel more connected, which I feel like is the story of a lot of us. We feel kind of like a bit of a disconnect to that culture if we didn't exactly grow up with it. Our parents and our grandparents and people that grew up with, they don't exactly talk about their time in that country. So it's kind of like you have to dig it out of them because they want to kind of forget the trauma. So I feel like we use food to kind of connect back to our roots and our parents' roots. So I feel like that was kind of what I was doing. Selva Central comes from, Selva means jungle, which is the main ecosystem that is in Central America. Again, Seattle, Pacific Northwest, we're just surrounded by these luscious greenery and trees. And then Central, because my main focus when starting this was Central America. I wanted to relate Selva Central as an individual because I feel like we ourselves are very much alike to the jungle. We are all complex, and we're all fierce, and we're all abundant as well. When you first are starting out in navigating your business and your product, it can be very vulnerable because it can be so personal what you're putting out there, and if people don't like it, it's kind of like you can't help but feel it. There's always going to be people who are not getting what you're doing or not liking what you're doing, and because then you kind of have to battle your own inner demons and just kind of keep pushing through that and being like, it's okay, like there's people that are getting what you're doing, there's people who are loving what you're doing, there's people who are supporting what you're doing. I feel like just providing that little piece of home for someone is definitely motivation and something that I keep in the back of my head whenever like doubt creeps in, or like whenever burnout creeps in. I just think like, you know, there's people who want to see this and want more of this. People have tried my baked goods and they tell me the same thing. They're like, oh, like my family's from El Salvador, but like I never really got to try these breads. And I kind of wanted to provide that as well to other people that are living here that share the same culture but are away from their families as well. So I kind of wanted to give something to them that reminded them of home, and for them to kind of discover their own culture. And it's kind of addicting to just keep creating. I love it. I chose this life.